My name is Mark Donnelly. I'm the director of ATB Capital, a private equity arm of ATB. We're a $100 million fund. We've deployed $20 million of it right now with two primary mandates, one being management succession, helping the management team take out a founder with the demographic shift that's happening with the baby boomers. And the other one is high growth businesses and fueling both of those in a minority standpoint. So I liken business to kind of human beings. At first there's problems at the early stage, and the business is 100% dependent on the entrepreneur. And I'm sure that's why a lot of you guys are here right now, and you have problems that are financing problems, first customer problems, technical problems. And a lot of people we meet at this stage usually tell us, well, if we had all those things, we wouldn't need you. And I kind of remind them, and I'm lucky I have some mentors that are older. I have two kids, 4 and 6. I have mentors that are older, have grown children, and I kind of always say that same to them, like, oh, it must be nice, and they just say bigger kids, bigger problems. So we're here to solve those bigger problems later when you have a real operating business and go forward from there. So you have traction, you maybe have some customers and sales, and now what with the new problems. So ATB Capital, we think less is more, and less being we take a minority equity investment so that you have the majority of the company and realize the majority of the benefit of the upside of getting that extra capital injection in there. Bootstrapping can only take you so far in a business. You can do it. It might take you 10 years. Our plan is to kind of turn your 5-year plan into a 2-year plan if you've actually got the technology, the management team, and the ability to scale, and all you need is capital. So you can pursue, even if you had good traction, you could now have the ability to pursue more customers, maybe make some complementary acquisitions, and gain market share quicker before your competitors catch on to what you're doing. This graph here is just kind of a high-level illustrative example of, first off, the red line is just about every business plan we see. Everyone's going to hit it. But the real difference between those two lines, the red line and blue line, which is a poor choice of color for me, but basically it's debt versus equity financing a growth business, specifically if it's capital intensive. Typically the two lines are 1-for-1 until about, let's call period 5, period 10. It's all different depending on your business, but it's a relative timeline. But eventually what ends up happening is the banks start giving you debt, you're growing crazy, you're exercising on new contracts, but the issue is you haven't generated enough retained earnings to match the bank's contribution in for new assets, and the bank sets your debt level. They tell you, no, service your debt to equity leverages or ratios are off, and service some debt before we give you any more. And those two lines start to diverge, and that's the loss of value to your company. And so basically our pitch is get a balanced balance sheet going forward if you actually have a capital business to realize that full potential. And the difference between those two lines is, I hate using it because everyone hates it, but that smaller piece of a bigger pie. This is real, and this is kind of why ATB Capital exists. So there's the contact information. Myself up in Northern Alberta, I have a counterpart down here in Calgary, Blake McDonald. Thanks for listening.